Needless to say, it's a mouth-watering prospect. Prepare to be royally entertained. The world #1 against the world champion for the Alex Higgins Trophy. It gets no better than that. Stand by for some fireworks. Huge respect between the two. O'Sullivan mentioned ahead of this match that Trump these days is the test of where his game's at. That is the ultimate compliment for surely the greatest player ever to pick up a cue. That's the trophy. Mark King, Mark Williams, and of course Judd Trump for the last 2 years has got the better of O'Sullivan in this great event. Can the Rocket exact some revenge today?
Again, this could be, and will be. And the best part about it is, it really is very difficult to know who is going to lift the trophy tonight. Bookmakers slightly favour Judd Trump, so that man is not favourite. That's extremely rare that O'Sullivan wouldn't start a match as favourite. But there's very little in it, and I've spoken to a lot of people, and most people have a different view. If they've got a view, they just want to watch this match and find out.
Well, it's a 12-year-old rivalry, and as has been mentioned many times, they are dead level at 11 victories each. And indeed, it's been a close rivalry right from the get-go. You might have expected O'Sullivan to hold sway in the early years, but actually after 10 meetings, they were dead level at 5-all. Trump winning 6 of the 9 finals, one of those in one of the old PTCs, but perhaps the most significant was here in 2018, because although it's hard to believe now, Trump had gone over a year without a ranking title. O'Sullivan made 2 big breaks to lead 7-6, and Trump responded by winning 3 straight frames, with O'Sullivan scoring just 5 points, and that really opened the floodgates for Trump. He's doubled his ranking title tally since then. But it's first blood to the Rocket. In contrast, in last year's final, O'Sullivan was never in front. Trump managed to keep him at arm's length throughout. So a fast start would be very welcome for the reigning world champion.
Yeah, I agree. He has to start well. There's some great matches, but you can't help remembering that Masters, with the first 8 frames at the end of it, in Ronnie's backyard where he always wins, it was 7-1 to Trump. And of course the match was effectively over. I'm not saying that'll happen again, but it's happened before. How much we do know. It's that wonderful match that Ronnie won in the Tour Championship. Not the most recent, but the one before that, which was a pulsating match, finishing all on the black. Sullivan cleared the colours. It was a great game. So there have been lots of great matches. This is the next chapter. Sullivan in first. 22. The Trump shot was not a very good one. He hit the middle pocket on a fairly average, not difficult safety shot.
O'Sullivan has had moments of difficulty this week. Of course, he was outplayed by Ding early on in their quarter-final, trailed 2-0. Ended up reeling off 5 straight frames and did the same yesterday from 3-1 behind against Ali Carter. He was a bit stuck in the mud before the interval. Carter was controlling the pace of the game, keeping him off the table, making life awkward, but what a burst of form it was thereafter, and a magnificent clearance in the final frame. When 3 reds were on cushions, fantastic final blue to win the frame on the black. But a routine pink goes astray for O'Sullivan, so just 23 points from that chance. even for these two world-class players. There are bound to be nerves in the early stages of a final.
Yes, I think so. It might take a frame to really settle either player. Whoever wins the opening frame, no doubt, will feel comfortable, but Sullivan missing a chance. This little thin blue, got to control it with a nudge. Well, he's played it pretty well. He's always got the red in the middle anyhow.
6.
Trump's one moment of alarm this week came in the match against Luca Brissell when he was 3-2 behind. He put in what he described as the perfect performance in the round before against China's Gao Yang. Of course, he made the maximum 2 other centuries, but against Brissell he had to dig deep. Since then, though,
12.
he's lost just 4 frames in 3 rounds. Digging deep is not a problem for Trump these days. Remember when he won the first leg of the Home Nations this season, the English Open here. In his first 3 rounds, he came through by the odd frame, having to come from behind in all of them. And he was 7-4 behind a Robertson in the final before winning
13.
in the decider. So he has the resilience these days to go with his dazzling talent. The complete player.
Well, that's the problem. The black is tied up, the red surrounding it are really going to make it very difficult for Judd to make this into a frame-winning chance. He already looked at the black. It may pop to the right corner, but
18.
only from very low. I don't think it will. But those reds are going to be winning and losing in this frame, I think.
19. Blue, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think on the blue, not sure what it is. It's on its spot, so I wonder why referees do that. He's actually using the ball marker, but clearly the blue was on its spot. But I do think that Salakar is an extremely good referee. He's such a good referee. That ball marker has got his name on it. You can't quite see it there. And that's when you know you've arrived.
Well, of course, he officiated the World Final for the first time in the summer. At 30 years of age, the youngest ever to do it. Now, has Trump come far enough as we have a look at Marcel for this red?
Trump 24.
So the miss from O'Sullivan on the pink proved not to be too expensive. O'Sullivan going for his second Home Nations title after winning the English Open in such fine style at the expense of Kyron Wilson in 2017. Of course, Trump has already won 3, more than anyone else in this series.
And the safety shot here is not absolutely simple. The red on the left is in play if he plays the red in the centre of the table. So he might have to play that red with the pink, which he should do. But it's just not the kind of shot he wants to play. red wasn't there, he would have no problem getting back to bowl. The other way instead. That'll do him. That's a nice bonus. And he's not on a colour. Play the snooker, but he might go at the yellow here.
Yellow ball.
Interesting one, you know, because really, if he'd have potted a great red up, would he have played the yellow? Feel after getting the fluke that the snooker's the shot and not to continue the break. It shouldn't matter. The red went in one way or another.
Well, the bookmakers can't split these two. They've played 22 times. They've won 11 each, and they're both 11 to 10.
Both odds-on chances. Trump was definitely a slight favourite last night, but the O'Sullivan money has come in, no doubt, from his huge amount of fans.
Judd Trump. Yep.
I think one of the reasons why Trump has enjoyed the success he has against O'Sullivan is that rather than being intimidated by the prospect of playing him, he's always been excited by it. He feels as though it brings out the best in him. And he's done that all the way through his career, even before he established himself as the force he is today.
That's what he's trying to do here. He's trying to clip the top end of that red, and that's why it's difficult. He's not really trying to hit it full ball, of course. Hit the wrong side of it. Well, that's turned out a blessing in disguise. It wasn't a reckless shot, it was an authentic cross-double opportunity. Thought the cue ball perhaps was the biggest error there because he's not got it away from the jaws of the pocket. Either way, he's given Trump a chance.
One.
A much more difficult shot than the blue, but with more at stake. The cue ball just ran into a position where it's not potable, that red. If so, it's a pity. He took on a big shot. It may have amounted to nothing.
That's confirmation. It doesn't look as though it goes.
Trump 4.
Rather a strange shot from Trump. It's okay, but I mean, cue ball Could have finished anywhere, really, and yet he has covered that red.
One of those typically edgy, nervy, tense type of opening frames in a major final. Both players just getting a feel for it, trying to settle the butterflies.
No question that while we know how well they pot and score these two, the good safety will play a big part for that very reason. I mean, Ronnie has to keep Trump out at range. That is a factor that might not be quite so relevant in reverse. I mean, Ronnie can pot long balls, but not in the same capacity as the man he's playing. So Sullivan's safety will have to be very good, very tight. He's got to negotiate this problem first. Just get to those three reds on the left side. Again, he's playing the two cushion glance on the loose red. Keep one behind the yellow somewhere is the plan.
Oh, miss. Judd trump 4.
Well, we already showed you that shot. Previous attempt, so not going to put it up again, but the fact remains he's trying to hit a very thin edge of a red here, and the amount you have to adjust is so minuscule. Otherwise he'll do what he did last time, just hit it full on the wrong side.
Foul, miss.
Wow,
Judd trump
how
4.
close did he get to that? I think there's an argument here, you know, to have this played from where the balls have landed rather than anything else. Free ball, blue's gone safe. Trump's lead is a small one. I think I'll have it put back from there. Ronnie's going to get the shot the next time, I think, the one that he played twice.
From there, please.
Yeah, so deciding that it's a more dangerous option. And you're at the mercy on that shot of the table, and if it drifted off, I think many a table would from that sort of range at that lack of speed. So Trump has won the early battles here. He's got to convert it to a frame winner.
1.
A chance to do so where the balls are.
O'Sullivan was first in after Trump's safety error, but broke down on 23, missing for him a relatively straightforward pink to right centre.
9.
Well, is he hampered here on the red by the pink? Looked a little
16.
edgy as he got up from that shot. He is. Shouldn't be a problem. But it was a problem. Enough for him to miss.
Judd trump 16.
Well, it looked like a kick. It's quite dramatic. You were right to point out that he was awkward queuing, but I didn't think it would stop him. I think it jumped.
1.
Not sure how a straight shot can kick the ball offline. I don't think I've seen that before. But it didn't look great.
Bit early to be talking about talking points as we have another look at Trump's surprise miss on the red. Maybe he did get a bad contact there. It certainly jumped, didn't it, the red? But if O'Sullivan could punish him for missing that red and make the fast start that we mentioned, it's probably important for O'Sullivan, given that he's lost his last 3 final meetings with the world #1, then it will be a telling early moment in this final. O'Sullivan's known as the best ever front runner, but recently he's been rather adept at coming from behind. Of course, he did it against Ding and Carter.
16.
And lest we forget, in that tremendous 3-frame burst against Selby in the world semi-finals, when he looked as though he was going out. One of the great crucible matches.
23.
Well, that blue that was put there from the earlier mistake from O'Sullivan, he missed the red, could end up being the key to this frame. That's a very good breast shot. It's a strange one. The blue is a kind of awkward distance away from the cushion. If it was closer, you'd fancy him to be able to nudge it out. It's neither one thing nor the other. Would he play on it? The cannon's more difficult than it would be if it was near the cushion.
20.
He looked to see if it would go in the middle, but it looks very narrow. I'm sure that really is open to him, that option. What has he got in store? Well, I'm not sure if he played the cannon or he played to get very, very close to the blue, but either way, from where he is, it's not a very nice shot to play, to drop that into the middle. You're not getting on the pink, and there's very little pocket to aim at. Don't blame him, played safe.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 30.
Tense opening frame, this. And that's a very good shot.
Yes, Trump looked to certainty with the reds as they were before he hampered himself on the pink, missed the straight red.
It's a good comeback from Trump. So, whoever pots the blue needs a ball.
Trump mentioned ahead of this final that one of the reasons why the fans love this matchup is, of course, they're both super attacking, don't necessarily look to play a safety shot if they can avoid it, but they're both very adept at doing that. Trump has got better and better tactically as the seasons have gone by, and O'Sullivan has always been very handy in that department. It's just that their other skills tend to overshadow their tactical prowess.
Once again, a little heavy-handed on that shot. Now there is an opportunity. Bang it down into the top left. A great view of it. Oh, no problem.
5.
So, this is the one. Might be a significant frame, albeit it's the first of Target of 9.
11. And the first frame.
A dramatic start to our Northern Ireland Open final. Judd Trump taking the first on the pink. O'Sullivan had a chance to steal.